Here it is. I took the pocket watch and ran to my room, only to take it apart. Sounds crazy, right? Well, I was a little crazy, but most people called me a mechanical genius. Hi, I'm Henry Ford, one of the coolest minds in the history of mankind. I literally changed the way people traveled, not just in the US, but the entire world. I was born into a family of farmers who lived near Detroit, and ever since I could remember, I was fascinated with tools and machines. Henry, tell me more about American history. History is bunk, but I could tell you how to make a screwdriver from old nails. My answers usually didn't impress teachers, and literature and history bored me to death, so I dropped out of school after grade 8. I started spending most of my free time in a small machine shop I created in my backyard. One day, my friends and I were out playing when I noticed a strange carriage on the road. It wasn't even pulled by horses. Whoa, who's pulling that wagon? Is it under a spell? It's a steam wagon. I saw a few of them in Detroit last summer. I was so fascinated by the vehicle that I followed it for half a mile. When the driver finally stopped, I bombarded him with a million questions on how it ran. The next few months, I worked hard trying to replicate the vehicle I'd seen, and by the time I turned 15, I'd already constructed my first steam engine. But when I showed it to Mom, she started crying.
Oh, Henry, you spent all this time trying to create a pressure cooker?
It's not a pressure cooker, Mom. It's a steam engine. I showed her how it worked, and she looked mesmerized.
I always knew you were a genius. I'm sure you're gonna be a big man someday.
But Mom didn't live long enough to see me be one. A few months later, Mom got seriously sick giving birth to my youngest brother. We couldn't even rush her to the doctor because cars were super expensive and rare in those times. The day Mom passed away, I vowed to create an affordable car for the average American. But to do that, I had to move to the city. Dad, however, had other plans for me. I'm getting old, Henry. You need to take over the farm. But Dad, you know how my heart is in mechanics. I begged Dad to allow me to go to Detroit, and he finally agreed.